is going to be switching to a G chord. Because in the comments and emails I get from you guys, one thing that I find as a common thread is people have a hard time switching to a G chord at first. So maybe you don't have a problem with it, but if you do, I'm going to give you guys some common chord switches that go to G and give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. And I promise, doing this a little bit every day, you're going to feel a lot more confident in playing the G chord. So get tuned up. We're going to start warming up. Little left hand exercises here. Alright, so you probably spent a little time doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 warm up, which is great. And after talking to some people, I think it's a common warm up that we've done on other instruments for years, so I hope it's fresh for you. So we're going to adjust this warm up a little bit now, and we're going to start a little higher on the neck, so we can start using a little more real estate, but we're going to mix up the pattern a little bit. And that's what I want to mention about the 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern, is you don't always have to go chromatically here, 1, 2, 3, 4, to kind of start making it a little more fun and interesting. You start changing the order of the numbers. So for this warm up today, we're going to do 1, 3, 2, 4. So that would be starting on the C string, index, ring, middle, pinky. Now, doing these in a different order is going to even further the development of the dexterity in your fingers, the control of your individual fingers, building the calluses on your fingertips. All of this is good stuff that you're putting in the bank of improving every day. Let's try this nice and slow. If you need to pause the video and just work on this pattern, 1, 3, 2, 4. Take a little time and just maybe sit on the C string. Try it a few times until you feel comfortable before you kind of play along with me here. But I'm going to go nice and slow. We'll go 1, 3, 2, 4, down the C string, E string, and A string. Nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Going up. 1, 3, 2, 4 to the C string. 1, 3, 2, 4. Now, we're going to take that a step further, making sure you're nice and warmed up. We're going to move up here to the 5th fret and do the same thing, and we're going to progress back. So maybe you've worked on going up the neck, as I say, towards the body, but now going down towards the headstock. We're going to try that same pattern, moving towards the headstock. And another thing that I want to add to this equation, just as an option for you guys, you don't have to do this. I'm generally just going to use my thumb on my strumming hand here to pick these single notes. But if you want to try this, something I like to do so that I can get a little more speed is I pluck down with my thumb on the string here, and then when I go up, I pluck with my middle finger. So it kind of acts like a little plick. What is a plick? If you want to try incorporating your middle finger as you pluck the strings, that's cool. If you just want to use your thumb and kind of use your hand braced underneath the body here, that's fine as well. I will do the middle and the thumb as I pluck this. Yeah, I had to kind of see my fingers there to make sure I was doing it right. So starting on 5, we'll do 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. Now when I say 1, 3, I'm talking 1 is my index, 3 is my ring, 2 is my middle, pinky is my 4th. Just so you're not confusing the frets and the fingers here. So the exercise, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 3, 2, 4, whatever we're saying, is just your fingers. So starting here on the 5th fret, let's go from the 5th fret, and we'll work our way back to the 3rd fret just to really get a nice warm up here. After you've warmed up properly, we'll get into some chord switching. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Going back up. Back to the 4th fret. Going up. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2. Back to the 3rd. 2, 4, 3, 2. Now, as you're doing that, they can get monotonous. So, what I like to do a lot of times is just put a metronome on, because I feel like a metronome gives you a pulse to keep you going. I use a metronome when I warm up on my uke. I also use it when I warm up on a piano. I think it's good to kind of just, it keeps you driving, it keeps you going. And something I also want to mention about this warm up, little things that you can work on while you're doing this. Trying to keep each note the same volume. And then maybe after you've done that a few times, when you really work on keeping an even dynamic, maybe work on trying to raise the volume or lower the volume. Think about those little things. Build your touch, build your feel. And you may never use one of these exercises in a song, but using them as warm-up, you're just really building that dexterity in your fingers, building independence and control and strength, all of the things that you need that you're going to help you play as you go on here. So that was a little warm-up. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of day 3. The big concept that I want to tackle today is how to switch to a G chord. Now that's something that I see with my private students, that's something I've seen in the comments, it's something I've seen in the emails from you guys, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today, and some of the common chords that you will see in the key of G, which are A minor, E minor, D, and C. So let's talk about how to switch to the G chord from each of those chords, starting here with the C chord. So when I'm playing a C chord, and you guys can see the graphics below here for the shapes, but when I play a C chord, a little trick that I like to use, so I play my C chord here with my ring finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. Now, if I see that G, that sounded funny, if I see that the G chord is coming up after my C chord, a little trick that I use is I take my middle finger and I place it down on the 2nd fret on the A string right behind my ring finger. And with my index finger, I like to hover that above the C string on the 2nd fret. Now, if you look at my hand shape here, it kind of resembles a G chord shape. There's good reason for that, because when I go to make this switch to the G chord now, I simply just set my index finger down and move my ring finger up here to the E string on the 3rd fret. So just watch that as I do it slowly here. So here's my C chord. I've got my index finger in position to switch to G. So this is the big thing here, is having your middle finger down on the 2nd fret, because then it's already in place. You've already tackled part of the chord switch before you even started the chord switch. So the common C to G switch, that's what I see all the time. I hope that helps you get to there. The next one that I come across pretty often is going from A minor to G. Now, you've probably played Riptide by Vance Joy a time or two if you've played the uke. So something I like to do when I see an A minor G next to each other in a song is I'll play A minor with my index finger rather than my middle finger. So by doing that, I free up my middle finger to hover over, again, you can see that I'm kind of starting to form a G chord here in the air when I'm playing A minor. You can see that my middle finger to hover over Again, you can see that I'm kind of starting to form a G chord here in the air when I'm playing A minor. So I'm playing A minor here on the 2nd fret on the G string. And with these fingers, I'm keeping them close to the fretboard. Now that is a point to discuss. You always want to have your fretting hand in close proximity to the strings and the fretboard. You don't want them always touching it. But as you're doing chords, you don't want your fingers propped out like this. You want your fingers nice and tight, tucked in here, because the shorter the distance to the strings from your fingers, the quicker you can get there. So think about that. Look at your hands as you're trying to do a chord switch sometimes. Do you notice that your fingers are popping out as your pinky sticking out? That's something that you're going to have to rein in a little bit for the chord switch. So again, if I'm going from A minor to G, I kind of have this G chord formed in the air, and then when I go to make the switch, I just move my index finger down one string to the C string, and because I've already got my fingers hovering over the E and the A string, I can just set them down for the G chord. Alright, the next chord switch, you'll set them down for the G chord. Alright, the next chord switch, you'll probably run across at some point here, is going from D to G, depending on how you play your D chord. In this case here, when I see G chord coming after the D, I play my D chord with my index on the 2nd fret on the G string, my middle right below that on the C string, my ring right below that on the E string. So everything is bunched up here on the 2nd fret. Now if you look at my hand here, you'll notice that I'm not like this. I actually have my hand up tilted towards the headstock. Now that does two things. That gives me spacing to fit all these fingers in here on one fret, which is kind of a weird, contorted thing to do for most of us. But also, it gets me in this nice tilted position to switch to my G chord, which is what we're talking about, right? So, we're going from D to G. Now how did I do that? So what I did, I slide my ring finger over from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, and as I do that, I lift my middle and index finger and drop them down into place for the G chord. So as you do that switch, just practice kind of just trying to get it the same way every time. And that's something I also want to mention here. As you're working on these chord switches, feel free to only focus on your fretting hand. Don't worry anything about your strumming hand. As you want to get better at doing chord switches, draw all of your focus to the chord switch. Really get your eyes set on the chord and make sure you're getting the same movement every time. See how close my fingers are here to the fretboard. If I held my hand over the top of my fingers, it shouldn't push up at all. So try that little exercise for any of these chord switches, or really, you can apply this to any chord change that you're having a difficult time with, but in this instance we're talking about G. Now the last one I will mention here is E minor to G. Now this is a chord switch that is a little bit funky because there's not really any good way to do it. You have to move all of your fingers to get there. So I devised a little plan for you guys. If you want to try this, you're going to take, for your E minor chord, we're going to incorporate our pinky. And our pinky we've been developing now. So your pinky should start feeling a little bit more comfortable and confident than it ever has before now that you're doing all these warm-up exercises. We're going to take our pinky, put it on the C string, 4th fret, our ring finger on the 3rd fret on the E string, and our middle finger on the A string on the 2nd fret. So now our E minor looks like this. You're going, Kevin, why are you making me play this with my pinky? Because our index finger is now free. And what that does is it allows us to have that ready to go down here on the C string on the 2nd fret. And if I pop my pinky off, little extra sound effect for you, no extra charge, you have a G chord. So moving from E minor to G, in this case now, is as simple as taking your pinky off and setting your index down. Now who's to say you can't just keep your index finger down the entire time and just add your pinky when you want to go to E minor and pull it off when you want to go to G. So those are 4 common chord switches. There are a bunch of others. If you guys have other ones that you struggle with, leave them in the comments below and we might be able to tackle them later in this series. So without further ado, we're going to hop into a play along where we're going to incorporate each one of those chord changes for you. And I think this is going to be great. And I will also leave some other exercises in the PDF. If you do these for a couple days and you're like, all right, Kevin, I got this, well, I'll give you some other challenging ones to work on as well. So let's get into a little play along here to give you an opportunity to really work on incorporating these chord changes. All right, for the play along, we're going to use a simplified strumming pattern. Now, the whole focus here is working on switching to a G chord, so I didn't want to make the rhythm too challenging here. So the rhythm we will use to strum this play along is down, up, mute. So to do that, let's try with the C chord here. Down with the index, up with the index, and mute. And another question I always get from everybody is, do I strum all of the strings? The answer is, yes you do. Unless it's some crazy chord, which I don't see many of those, generally you're going to strum all the strings. So I just wanted to leave that little disclaimer in there for you. So the strum pattern is down, up, mute, down, up, mute. And every time I do down, up, mute, that equals 1 time. Now when you do that mute, I kind of aim to clap right over here on the sound hole. You don't have to smash the uke, but just kind of give it a little love tap. So the progression will be C, G, A minor, G, D, G, and finally E minor, G. So this will give you a chance to work on every one of those chords going to a G chord. And after you do this a little bit every single day, for maybe 5 minutes you just do this one exercise, play along with me. I promise you're going to feel better about your G chord. And then when you incorporate that into another song later, you're going to say, hey, I'm glad I played along with Kevin. Here we go into the play along. We'll go at a nice slow tempo. And then for the second one, we'll bump up the tempo a tad. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clap. Clap. Switch to G. Clap. A minor. Back to G. Go into the D chord. Back to the G chord. Now E minor with the pinky. Back to G. Alright, let's try that one more time. Back to the C chord. Get that middle finger down, move into G. Go into A minor with my index finger this time. Which I forgot last time. Go into G. And D chord. Slide the ring over. G chord. Make sure you're smiling. Last one, E minor with the pinky. Get that finger down, G. So if you want to spend some time just going at that nice slow tempo, or I will leave some metronome markings in the PDF for this play along as well. And I'll kind of give you some other play alongs with the G chord to work on so that you can kind of find a bunch of common switches with the G. But right now, let's bump up the tempo, do the exact same thing we just did, just with a little bit more pace. If you need to stay at the slow pace, I encourage you just to kind of pause right now, take some time, take 5 minutes, and just do slow play along after slow play along, and just kind of really work on those switches until you feel confident and comfortable. Here we go, a little more speed, 2 times per chord with the strumming pattern, C, G, A minor, G, D, G, E minor, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 to G, A minor, index, G, so many G chords, D, back to G, and E minor, last time, to the G. So I said G quite a few times in this video, but that was our main focal point for today's lesson. Switching to the G chord is something you're going to do whether you like it or not playing the uke, so you might as well get a lot of repetitions at it and practice it a little bit every day. All right, so per usual, we're going to answer a question here from the comments. And the comment question today is from Marjorie Preston. She says, "Hey there, love your video series. How much pressure should I use to fret? I realize I'm holding down the strings with a death grip and maybe I should have a lighter touch." So that's a great question, Marjorie. Death grip is probably going too far and light touch is probably not going far enough. The way to tell if you're putting enough pressure down, I guess I would say, is are all of the strings ringing out clearly as you squeeze down, or are you getting dead notes? So when I strum through my chord there and just pluck each string, I can hear them all clear. Now if I wasn't pressing down hard enough, I might hear, you might have heard that before when you played a chord, you've heard these kind of dead notes. Now things that you can do to adjust your pressure a lot of times have to do with your thumb, which is hiding back here on the back of the neck. So a lot of times our thumb gets out of position and we're not really getting adequate pressure on the neck because of something that's happening back here. And you don't think about that, you think, oh, it's my fingertips. Well, a lot of times it's not your fingertips, it's where your thumb. So a good rule of thumb, no pun intended, is to kind of try to split whatever chord you're doing with your thumb behind it. That's going to help you apply pressure. Now, as I said, you don't need to death grip it. You don't want any tension in your hands and cramping, and that's why I hope all of these warming up and exercises will do to kind of help you avoid cramping and kind of pressure. But I will say, if you do feel any of that, take a break. That's part of what this series is about too, is practicing in small increments, because I know that sometimes, especially